Alright, it's been a while. It might be a while longer, so let my words linger as you hover your finger over the next podcast button on your hi-fi, or however you listen, probably a modern contraption like a Wi-Fi. But don't let me imposition you for too long. I wasn't planning on making an episode, because I'm perpetually tired and never in the mood. But then something occurred, and oh my god, that bastard upped the ante and recorded a bean pod. So now, in my ever-clawing copying stance, I had to get out the mic built into my Mac and press record on the Audacity app. I unwittingly already stepped on his shoes by recording a time-lapse of me kneeling on stones and weeding a garden. My garden, more on that later. So that set the tone, and my resolve naturally hardened. Now here we are, and it's too late now, so wiggle that finger, and off we go! Well, I suppose I'd better address the elephant in the room from the off. We did buy a house. Yes, I know that in the last episode, and probably for many, many months before that, I've been talking about buying a house, but it's finally happened. It took about a year, I think, from start to finish, so we've already seen the house in all 4 famous Japanese seasons, and it's all gone through. We managed to get a pretty sweet deal on it in the end. My wife Gorgonella, she drives a hard bargain because it had taken so long for the house purchase to go through due to several sort of random embuggerances and things and stuff. The very last minute, literally like 2 days before the paperwork was all done, she asked for a discount because of that and got it. So we got an extra chunk knocked off the asking price, and when we had the meeting, you go and have a meeting with the current owner, or now I can say former owner, your estate agent or realtor, if you're an American, and a lawyer dude, and then the bank people who you're getting the mortgage with, if you're getting a mortgage, which we is. What was I saying? I've forgotten the point that I was saying. Anyway, we got money off. I can't even remember what I was saying now. This is why I haven't recorded a podcast in so long. It's just a constant sort of daily malaise and tiredness, and I apologise for that. What was I saying about the bloody house, man? Basically, yeah, we got some money off, and we'd also discovered on that day, that's right, this is it, we own a bit more land than we thought we did, which is nice. It's not that exciting because it's basically the road leading up to the house. It's a private road, and we own the middle half of it. So it's divided into four pieces, and we own the middle 2 pieces of the road. So you could probably drive a K car through that, if you wanted to. But it's a fairly hefty chunk of land. It's about 500 square meters. Not bad. And we're currently having reform work done on it, or renovation. Fairly extensive. We're getting like a new roof on the 3rd floor, and we're getting all new windows, double glazing, thank you very much, all the way through the entire house. There's a pretty good deal on with the government. I think you get, it's something like 50% subsidy if you replace your windows with double glazing, something like that. So we're getting a good deal on that, so that's a bit cheaper. And then the guy who's doing our renovation is a friend, and he's actually a bandmate of mine. So he's given us a very good rate, and I can't understand how it's possible. But what I think I've realised is that there's an ambulance going past. What I've realised is that when you get reform or renovation work done, usually with not a friend, they charge you through the bollock, and they must rake it in, because what he's charging us is like, I don't know, a lot less than what they charge, let's say. And it's looking really good. He's doing an amazing job. He's putting the roof on today, and he's put all the windows in the third floor, so that's nice. And we're making that into a pretty nice room. It's overlooking a sakura-filled park, and also overlooking the school that my daughter will attend when she gets older. I'm not going to edit this, by the way, in case you thought something had changed and I would start editing in these podcasts. It's not going to happen. I'm drinking a beer, but it's now special. It's the Asahi Munich type dark beer. It's okay. God, there's so much I could tell you about the house. I think I've probably told you quite a bit in previous episodes, but it's got a pretty big kitchen. We're going to get a dishwasher, 60 centimeters, if that means anything to you. I think in Japan, that's the biggest size you can get. And Gorgonella has already intimated that this dishwasher is basically going to be a cupboard. She was like, "Well, we'll just keep the plates in there. There you go. Just keep them in there, wash them, get them out, use them, stick them back in the dishwasher." So we'll see. I'm not totally keen on that myself, but well, getting a dishwasher. One of my dreams, for a couple of years now, has been to own, and I'm going to show my age here, a cordless vacuum cleaner. And I've been observing institutions, and my observations of institutions is all the cleaners in institutions, and I haven't spent time in an institution in that sense, but they all use a white Makita. And my thinking is, right, if this is the cordless vacuum cleaner of choice for not one but maybe two institutions that I've observed, it's got to be good. It's got to be the gold standard, because why else would they buy them? They've got a budget. They've got the whole world of vacuum cleaners to enter into and pick. It's like in The Matrix when, they summon up a big wall of weaponry and you can just have whatever you want. You just put the chip in. That's what it's like for institutions. There's a wall of vacuum cleaners and they can choose whatever they want. And they've chosen the white Makita. So I'm very close to pulling the trigger on a white Makita. But actually, when I searched it on Amazon, there was a green one. I quite like green, so I might get the green one. So that's. Is there anything else more exciting than that? Oh yeah, quite an interesting thing. We're gonna renovate the washitsu in the room. That's the Japanese room. It actually doesn't have tatami. I think it may have done at one point. It's wooden floor, but we're gonna replace the wooden floor anyway. The carpenter, our guy, he pulled up some flooring to see what was going on underneath, check the foundations and that, and he found some vases. Vases. And we looked at, well, I wasn't there, but Gorgonella was there, and she looked up the value of these, no, not the value, the price of these, which is very different. The price at the time of purchase in 1958 was 120,000 yen. And there's 4 of them. So obviously I'm thinking, ka-ching! 1958, they were 120,000 yen. So by now, in 2025, is it 25 still? Has it gone to 26 yet? I think it's 25. 25, right? Anyway, whatever year it is now, 25, I think. Which is, from 58, that's, 60, that's 2 years. Add 40, and then add 25, 67 years later, I would have thought that the value would have just skyrocketed. 120,000 in 1958, and then 68 years later. No, apparently, go online, check them out. They were worth about 20,000 yen each. But you never know. Maybe that was a load of old rubbish. Perhaps there are people out there in the market for these kind of things. But we're probably going to just display them. And use them as target practice for Yuki when she decides to throw tennis balls around the house or whatever. But yeah, so that was sort of mildly interesting. Here's a good thing. I'm getting a studio. There's a room in the house that's a little haven for Joey, and it's gonna have. I'm planning on a long live edge desk. I had planned to get this from my other carpenter friend who I made a coffee table with for Gorgonera and my anniversary a few years ago. A very nice man with a wood shop with all the equipment, and and always gives us a good price. And I wanted to go and get a large piece of live edge wood and ask him to help me build it. And when we got there to go and see the guy, it's pretty sad. There was a big forklift truck thing. I think they call them a front loader or whatever. Top loader? No, that's a band. Anyway, digging up the charred remains of his woodwork studio. He was there with his friends. They were helping to clear the debris as we pulled up in the Subaru. And he basically an electrical fault spark. I mean, it wasn't like a haven of health and safety in there, I've got to be honest. The wiring did look like, maybe he did it. But nonetheless, very sad. All his machinery, completely buggered. All of his projects he was working on, his furniture, he said he makes and sells furniture, all gone, into ash. So it was pretty sad actually, because I couldn't get my large piece of live edge wood. But maybe he still had a few lying around in the back, sort of away from where this building was. So we'll go back and sort of, you might be desperate enough to sell us it for even cheaper, which will be nice. I'm joking. Jesus. I mean, I do want to buy a piece of wood from him, but I'm not going to exploit the man. Anyway, God, quite a lot's happened, hasn't it? Really, this is all in recent weeks. What else is on my? I've got a little list. So house. Oh yeah, today was a big day. Both Casey, former host of this podcast, and I met with Facundo and his family. If you can't remember who Facundo is, he is 1/3, I think, of the band Kyoto Connection over in Argentina. So they are on a tour of Japan for 6 weeks. Amazing. We're lucky enough to have caught them only a couple of weeks into their trip, so they still had a wee bit of energy left. I didn't have a lot of energy because we, Gorgonella and Yuki and I, had spent the day weeding at the new house that I mentioned briefly. Because there is a garden, there's a rather nice garden at the front, and it's been neglected for a year or so quite a bit of weeding to be done. My first foray into gardening, it was quite enjoyable. Anyway, so Facundo and his wife and his daughter and a band member are here, and we went to a park and had a lovely little walk around. It was very nice. Thoroughly enjoyed meeting him in person. Shame I couldn't have stuck around a bit longer, but life with a 2-year-old takes hold. You've got to get back to make their dinner that they don't eat. Actually, she did eat it. She had a bowl of rice and natto. She ate all of that. She ate a bit of the mackerel. She didn't eat any of the sliced up broccoli stalk or the daikon, and the fish cake with edamame beans in and miso soup was untouched. But anyway, that was the result. So that was really nice to meet them. Expect to see some action on his timeline in the future. Actually, while I'm on it, I met Facundo initially through Twitter, as it was, and it's not really an announcement because I think I mentioned it last time, but I don't use Twitter anymore. I'm off Twitter. I still have the account because there are quite a lot of people who haven't made the transition over to Blue Sky, where I now reside, with the same handle. Oh, pardon me. It is 10:15. Shit, time to go to bed. So you can find me on Blue Sky at Ishikawa Summer to see. But I don't. Yeah, I'm not. So there's still some people on there that I want to have some ability to keep in touch with, and that's the only thing that's keeping me, because as soon as I either grow a pair or people fully migrate to Blue Sky, then when that happens, I'm out of Twitter like a shot. I loved it. It was great. Had a great time. Met loads of nice people, but it's gone down the pan since who took over. So yes, and speaking of him, who, interesting. I wanted to ask your opinion. I'm not afraid to put my opinions on the line or whatever. Actually, I'm terrified to do that. What am I talking about? There's a group that I'm a member of, which is for sort of house renovations and stuff. and it's on Facebook, owned by a lovely bloke, but it's on Facebook. And I saw this post, and it was someone, he'd put like the ideal measurements for a kitchen, like the height of the counters, where the sink should be, and it was a lot of black silhouetted people characters, and there was one, and it was displaying and the character was like reaching a cupboard above him. So if you can imagine, it's like a side view, and he's got one arm outstretched. What does that look like? Right? You get me? And that was on to the right of the picture. And I said, is that Elon Musk on the far right? Because he was doing it. It looked like the little character was doing a Nazi salute, which is what Elon Musk did. So I put that comment, bit of a joke, and someone who I know, who I'm not going to name because I really like this person and respect them, and I don't think they're a bad person and need to be shamed by me. I'm not shaming them even, but they sort of said, oh, a politics comment in this group, sigh. And I felt kind of I felt bad because I upset someone, it seems like. But then I also thought, come on, it's just a bit of fun. If you're defending a man giving a Nazi salute, don't do that. Like, that doesn't sound very good, does it? If you're doing that, I mean, all right, my making a sort of, it's not even political. He's not a politician, unless sort of making fun of somebody doing a Nazi salute is political. But anyway, he was a bit, sort of miffed that I'd made that comment, and I just said, come on, it's a bit of fun. But and then he replied, but I didn't reply back because I thought I'll just leave it there. This'll be gone in a couple of days, which it was. Like, it was not mentioned, and I got one person put an angry face that wasn't him as the little emoji, and then everybody else put laughing faces. So I thought, well, the majority of responses are laughing, and I thought it was pretty funny. But I guess it's everybody's right to defend Nazis if they want to. Anyway, this is not a political podcast, so I'll just move on. But I just wanted to know, what did you think? Was it bad? Should I have not done that? Was it wrong? Was it wrong to mock a Nazi? So speaking of which, so Yuki turned 2. She had a birthday. She's not a Nazi, not yet. She hasn't indicated that she has any kind of anti-Semitic or she's not. No, she's not. Anyway, the point is, she turned 2. That means that she had a birthday, and it was fun. She is, she's the reason why I'm not recording podcasts anymore, particularly, but she's also extremely cute. And I know she's my daughter, and I know everyone thinks their own children are brilliant and whatever, but objectively, she's absolutely as cute as a button. And I want to tell the world. And she's what's she doing? She's doing quite a bit of talking. She does most of her talking in Japanese, but she does also speak English. And she has more than once sort of said "daddy" when looking at a picture of a gorilla, which is nice. And what else is there about her? that I can share with you. It's not that I'm just tired. This is why I don't record podcasts anymore. Right, I'm just going to move on. She's 2. It's great. She's wonderful. She's the best thing ever. Apart from football, the sports chat. Newcastle United, my team, are flying at the moment. They beat Liverpool FC in the final of the Carabao Cup. That doesn't mean anything to most of you. I appreciate that. But this is the first trophy that Newcastle United have won in 70 years. 70. People have been born, lived a long life, and died all without ever seeing them winning anything. But now they have, and it was a pretty amazing game. We bossed Liverpool off the pitch. And then since then, we've just been on this run of form. We've scored 1 goal, 2 goals, 3 goals, 4 goals. In the last game, 5 goals, unanswered. And tonight, we play Aston Villa. And we're currently sitting in 3rd position, which is amazing. Amazing. We're only 4 points behind Arsenal, who are 2nd. Okay, didn't figure that out. All good except for the manager who has pneumonia. So wishing him the best of luck and hope he recovers soon. But yes, football is a good sport and it is good now. All right, I've got a couple of shout outs. I just wanted to shout out to the Gaijin Podcast Collective. I haven't really sort of conversed with them much recently because I haven't been making podcasts, and so I sort of feel sad because I want to be doing it, but I haven't got the wherewithal. When I get my studio with my Live Edge desk, then I'll be able to buy a new mic and I'll be able to put my headphones on and stuff like that, and I can start releasing podcasts a bit more. And I hope to get a bit more involved, but that's not going to be until later in the summer. Also wanted to shout out to Sam, that's Sess Spackman on Blue Sky, who gave me the courage to record this podcast. He asked for it. So Sam, you asked for it. I've yawned 3 times, I think. Just, be careful what you wish for, is what I'm saying. But thanks. What else? I think that's all for my little list. I'm not going to keep you long. Just a couple more things. One is a very brief poetry corner. Poetry corner. Yeah, poetry corner. We write things that rhyme in plenty of minutes. Sometimes they're short, sometimes they're long, sometimes they're right, sometimes they're incorrect. Poetry corner, poetry corner. Poetry, baby. You had a poem at the start, so you should be happy. You want another? It'll be crappy. My juices all got used on the introduction, so pucker your lips and engage the suction. That's the end of poetry. Oh, hello. Gorgonella's just arrived home. So I'm gonna... She says it's Eo. She says I can continue. She's asking me if I wash the dishes. And hang on a second. Pardon me. Last thing is, Julian, I have not forgotten you. It's the album recommendation for Julian. So, Julian, just a quick one. I recommend a band called Lovely Assistant. Lovely Assistant are I don't want to say led. A member of the Lovely Assistant is my friend Kieran Rafferty, that I knew from uni, kind of, and sort of later uni. And And an album that I recommend is called Greetings from the Pre-Wave. They're a kind of slightly folky quartet. Not quirky, but interesting, thoughtful lyrics, and really, really quite beautiful music. They do have a new album coming soon, which has got a very gorgeous title. It's called Fuck Love. I'm not sure if you're supposed to pronounce it as like fuck love or fuck love, but I like to say fuck love. That's not glove. No, it's not fuck love. Fuck love. So that's my album recommendation. Go and give them a listen. All right, I can't remember if there's any other sections, but for today there is not. So I'm signing off. Bye bye. Love you. Bye. Love you. Love you. Bye bye.